In this video, I'm going to show you how to buy your first investment property step by step. I'll go over everything you need to know and do to make your first property acquisition a success. From how to find a profitable area to invest in, to properly running the numbers, to working with the right people and more. This all comes from my experience as a real estate broker and investor myself. Thanks to Fundrise for sponsoring this video. Let's get started. So before you buy an investment property, there are some things you should know. Real estate prices are rising as the national median listing price for active listings in March of 2022 was up 13.5% compared to last year and up 26.5% compared to March 2020. Although we can't predict the housing market, properties and rent are projected to continue rising due to increased inflation and interest rates, which historically have caused home prices to go up. Andrew Carnegie famously said that 90% of millionaires got their wealth by investing in real estate, which still proves to be true today, with the International Center for Trade and Sustainable Development saying that 9 out of 10 millionaires in the world became millionaires through real estate investments. So you can see why real estate is such a popular and lucrative investment vehicle, one that almost all millionaires rely on to build their wealth. But yeah, you've probably already made up your mind on buying an investment property, and that's why you clicked on this video. So we'll now dive into each individual step you should take if you want to secure your first successful property. Step number 1 is to save up for the down payment. Now, compared to traditional residential properties that you are living in yourself, investment properties need a larger down payment. It's very typical to require between 20 to 30% down payment, with 25% being, I'd say, the average, and it all depends on your lender. Now, there are some ways to get around this, for example, getting a personal loan for the down payment, but I actually don't recommend that because there are lots of unforeseen expenses, and if you're cutting it really close, then if something unexpected happens, well, then that's going to be a big headache. So included in this step is actually making sure that your credit is good, right? Because having a good credit score is going to have a huge impact on the interest rate that you're getting, and that has a big impact on your payments. So yeah, start saving up right now, get comfortable being frugal, don't buy things that you don't need, because yeah, if you want to buy your first investment property, then obviously you're going to need a good amount of money. And so yeah, the earlier you start investing, the better of a position you're going to be in. The second step is to pick an area that you want to buy your property in. So what I recommend doing is going to city-data.com and looking at a few things. For example, historical price trends, population trends, income growth, as well as crime data. I view this step as extremely important because the location you're investing in is basically the foundation of your real estate investing journey. So hence, don't skip out on the step. Take a long time to figure out where you want to invest. And when it comes to different places to invest in, you'll likely choose between appreciation versus cash flow. Appreciation being, in some areas, the price of homes tend to go up a lot. But the drawback is that the rental rates compared to the prices of homes there are not very good. On the other hand, you have cash flow areas, and these are places where the value of homes don't increase as much, but the amount of rental income you're able to get tends to be quite high compared to the purchase price of the property. So yeah, usually it's one or the other, but some places might offer a rare combination of both. You might also want to consider investing in a landlord-friendly state. For example, Texas, Arizona, or Florida. If there are issues with your tenants, then having your property in one of these states is going to be a huge win for you. Another thing to consider is that it's really great to invest if you are close by. This is a huge advantage that not a lot of people talk about, but the truth is that if you're out of state, it's going to be pretty hard for you to go there and look at the homes, handle things if needed, and all that stuff. However, I know that some of you guys are probably living in some very high cost of living areas where it might not be possible for you to buy a home there. And that's completely okay, you guys. If you do want to invest out of state, I'd say make it one nonstop flight away. If you need to transfer flights, then it's probably too far, or it's just gonna be too big of a hassle for you to get there if needed. And then now a question I get a lot is, what are some of the popular cities to invest in? I prepared a list for you guys, and hopefully it's going to kickstart your own research. So you have Cleveland, Ohio, Phoenix, Arizona, Independence, Missouri, Memphis, Tennessee, Jacksonville, Florida, among many others. There's no city that's perfect for everyone because there are so many factors as we talked about. But yeah, this is definitely going to be an important step, so don't skip on your research. So buying an investment property is complex but rewarding. But meanwhile, did you know that there are much faster ways to invest in real estate, just like the ultra wealthy do? Fundrise is an easy to use platform for investing into long-term real estate that can diversify your portfolio and increase your passive income. income. With Fundrise, you can start generating higher and more consistent returns than the stock market. Fundrise is making this possible through putting your investments into private real estate assets that have low volatility and significant long-term potential. Real estate has historically shown more stable and consistent returns, especially in today's market. And historically, these types of investments have only been available to high net worth individuals and institutions. So it's really great that Fundrise is making private real estate investing open to everyone. Plus, all their deals are vetted by their team of expert underwriters. So you guys can actually use my link fundrise.com/Charlie to start investing in real estate with Fundrise. And the link will be in the description below. I'm investing myself and will continue adding more funds. Again, use my link below to start investing in the best investment vehicle in the world. And now back to the video. All right, so step number 3 is to find a realtor and lender. The team that you guys work with is extremely important. And I used to want to, do it all myself, but then I realized that that was not the smart move. Essentially, a realtor is going to help you comb the MLS and off-market listings that could fit your criteria. They're going to be an extremely important person on your team, especially if you want to find good properties to invest in. Plus, as a buyer, their fee is built into the price of the home, so you're not actually, technically paying them. Rather, the seller is paying for your own buyer's agent. Now, your lender is going to help you secure financing and get your loan app approved. It's really important to find a lender that can actually get your loan through, so I wouldn't just look at how low their rates are. Of course, that is important, but sometimes I've actually gone with a lender that had a slightly higher rate just because the reviews were so much better. Because of course, if you can't get your loan through, then you can't buy your house. Now, what's the best way to actually find these team members, right? For me, reviews and word of mouth are the best ways to find these people. For reviews, I like to look at Yelp and BiggerPockets. And then for word of mouth, that's self-explanatory. Ask people that have, done deals in that area and see who they actually recommend. There's also platforms like HomeDime that connect you with top agents and lenders in your area. So that can also be a really great resource for you guys. The really important thing is that it really helps if they have investing experience or work with other investors. They'll know the things to look for. They'll help you run the numbers. And yeah, the way I think of it is, there's so many agents out there. Why not choose the best that actually have experience with what you're trying to do? So yeah, remember, it's a collaborative effort and don't try going at all this stuff yourself. Step number 4 is to actually find your home and get your mortgage done. So with regards to your agent, you're going to want to communicate your criteria, your numbers, and anything else that you think is important for them to know. With that information, they're going to begin to look for properties that, actually match what you want. If they're well connected, they can actually also find off-market properties that are not on the MLS, and sometimes those are going to be much better deals. It's important that you guys put into motion this search phase because it can take a long time. In some cases, it might even take months or a year plus to find a property that matches what you want. Now, when it comes to your mortgage application with your lender, you're going to want to be really on top of things, right? They're going to have a lot of loan documents that will need to be signed, and you'll want to do those as soon as you get them because that's going to make everyone's life a lot easier. You'll want to have them submit your documents to the underwriter, get that pre-approval. And yeah, whoever you're using as your lender is going to help with this. But I'd say that for you guys, just be on top of things, send them documents when they need it, and your loan will get pre-approved much faster and the whole loan process will be a lot easier. Number 5 is to actually run the numbers once you find something that looks intriguing. So for this step, your real estate agent can actually help, but I'd say that you should also understand yourself so that you can be a savvy investor. This basically allows you to do your own due diligence and not just rely on your real estate agent because of course they can make mistakes. There's lots of information that you guys can learn and you can get all this info from books, from YouTube, from forums like BiggerPockets. Understand the key terms like cap rate, cash on cash return, the 1% rule. And when you know all these things, you are a better, smarter investor. And yeah, I just highly recommend you guys, take some time out of your day, start learning these real estate terms and knowing how they can help you pick the right property. There are also lots of calculators that you can use, and you're basically going to be able to plug in a lot of numbers and it's going to spit out these calculations for you. Do this on every single property that you want to buy, and it's really going to save you from buying some, not good deals. A lot of the money is actually made when you buy, meaning getting a good deal. And so having that calculator, knowing all these terms, it helps you compare different properties to one another in terms of their investment return. Step 6 is actually just buying the property. This is pretty self-explanatory. story, but you're basically going to open escrow, you're going to do the home inspection, get the appraisal done, get the disclosures, and your real estate agent is going to walk you through all of this. Now, concurrently, while all that's happening, your lender is going to be pushing for underwriting to fully approve and fund your loan. So like I mentioned earlier, be on top of things, send them documents when needed, sign things when needed. This way your escrow does not get delayed, as that is probably the most common reason for escrows to, go over. But yeah, for most investment properties, I'd say that the typical escrow period is between 30 to 60 days. And then if you're doing an all cash close, meaning you don't have any financing, then it can be as fast as, like 7 to 14 days. Step 7 is to actually prepare the house for tenants. So what you're going to want to do is spruce up the property, get into move-in condition, and the work that you do is really going to depend on the area, the neighborhood, and the house condition. If your house is in a more upscale area, then it might make sense to renovate some things. For example, some cosmetic fixes like the paint, the flooring, lights, and stuff like that. For higher end places, this allows you to actually increase the rent, and often it's going to make sense and make it a lot easier for you to find a tenant. For areas that aren't as nice, you probably won't have to do much of this stuff, but it is still important to have your place move-in ready. Step 8 is to find a property management company. So typically these types of companies will take 8 to 10% of monthly rent with a placement fee that's usually 1 month's rent. This means that if you're renting out a place for, let's say, $2,000 a month, they're going to charge you $2,000 to actually find a tenant. And then after that, they'll take a monthly fee of $160 to $200. The reason why a lot of people recommend having a company like this in place is because it makes your investment a lot more passive. You don't need to deal directly with the tenants. You don't need to find them. And it just makes your life a lot easier so that you can focus on other income generating things. The company you end up hiring is going to post online, they're going to hold showings, they're going to comb through apps, and they're going to help you settle on a good tenant. They're also going to deal with tenants if there are any issues with maintenance. They're going to help collect rents. And yeah, most people are going to hire a company to do this for them, although I'll say that some people, they like doing this themselves. And yeah, saving that 10% fee can be pretty big when it comes to the cash flow. So you'll have to decide what to do here. If it's out of state, then probably you're going to need to hire a company. But if the house is down the street, then maybe you want to do it yourself. Step 9 is to sit back, relax, and collect those rent payments. Just kidding, it's not that easy, and you'll probably hit some bumps in the road. For example, repairs, tenant issues, and all that stuff. But hey, once you get here, all that initial work, it's already been done. And this is actually where the continuing exploration starts. You don't just buy one investment property, right? You're gonna repeat steps 1 to 8 over and over again until you build a massive real estate portfolio. You'll want to do continuing education, right? You want to learn tax strategies like the 1031 exchange, because the government, they really want you to keep money in real estate. So there are so many huge tax benefits that they give us. And yeah, as you guys actually, invest in real estate yourself, you'll learn tons of lessons. You'll become a better investor, and every subsequent property should get easier and easier. Anyways, I'll conclude the video by saying that real estate investing is amazing, and it's created so many millionaires. I hope you guys found this video helpful, and feel free to reference it whenever you want, because you're definitely going to have questions along the journey. So hopefully this video or any other further research you do will help you with it. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button and also subscribe for more videos just like this. I make a ton of content about personal finance, investing, and entrepreneurship. Thank you so much for your time, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.